Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Daredevil Season 3, Episode 6, titled The Devil You Know. Driven to the edge, Dex is offered a lifeline by Fisk. So, obviously, something even worse happens with Dex after he screwed up royally in the last episode by revealing that he's a bit of a creep. Now, yes, I know there's a part of him that can't help it. He's latched onto this person. He sees them as the only thing keeping him sane. I know I shouldn't use that term, but that's what it is. And so he's saying that his brain is telling him that without this person, there's no hope for you. But it's still a creep. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see just what it is that lets Wilson get his hooks into Dex. Well, I guess we'll probably find out in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, the aircon's on, so you probably hear the wind rushing around. Where are you, Karen? I'd assume by that you're at your place. Okay. No, she ran away almost immediately. Because morally you did what you thought was needed to protect people. I shot him 7 times. It's gonna be Matt, isn't it? I don't think you can really do that. Jeez, that's a nasty head wound. I don't exactly think that he's been having a lot of money coming in lately, and I believe the FBI would have frozen his assets. So, once his name's cleared, maybe. Yeah, I don't actually know, because we never got that far in legal studies. That's more of a college level thing. How exactly shooting multiple times falls under self-defense? Like, is it still seen as it because it's like you're doing you're like doing what you can to protect yourself, or is it seen as excessive force? Because I know it is equal or lesser. So like you can't use a gun if you're threatened by a knife, but I'm a little too hungover for that. Why'd you come here? Or what do you need from me? Can you help me track him down? Jeez, man. You're turning it into a waterbed. Aren't you meant to have something more than just a single lock? Also, why the hell did he have shurikens? Who sets their alarm for 7:07? I was so confused as to what they were doing. Was there like a distinguishing feature on the suit bags? How did you know that was the one you wanted? I've uh, I've never understood cufflinks. Like, what is their purpose? All my shirts have a button there to like tighten it around your cuff. So yeah, that sounds about right. Hmm. Hmm. I think you would be restricted from being his attorney. You could have gone straight to Allison. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Maybe set him as your South Star. So as long as you're moving away from him. To be fair, dealing with Fisk is the only time I would think someone would be willing to just be like, I'll grab someone else a cup of coffee instead of telling them to go get it themselves. I had nothing to do with her being hired. I was going to eat that. No, you don't sense it, you know. You mean like no one's been able to destroy you and Vanessa? But not even the typical I am nothing like you? I didn't get to read all that, but anonymous tip triggers probed into shootout during Wilson Fisk transfer. It's about Matt. Probably shouldn't use that language in church. But at night, he'd be a wreck. Close. After that, he didn't call again. That's pretty much what Foggy said, isn't it? Well, he seemed to be taking Mercer's words to heart with the staying calm. He knows how it came out. Now, if only you'd actually been able to hear what he said. You feel like you're being watched? doing, Karen? I mean, this is where her past does come into a advantage. He didn't even point it towards him and he still took it. You should have known he was there with you. Yes. Hmm. Well, you've just made things a little more complicated. That explains why he was here. Even Matt was shocked with that. How is this going to go wrong? I mean, I went out to talk to a friend. She does. I do wonder how many people were able to figure out the twist. Before it comes out. Assuming it does actually come out. If it doesn't, I'm going to say it in the last episode of the season anyway. And none always knows. He's the one who shanked. what if it isn't? But you're not watching him 24/7. There are times and people that get those cameras turned off. You were told to stay on your meds. Why does it sound like a swarm of bees? Not going to be freaked out by the convenience of that call? Who's that in the background? That doesn't look like his lawyer. Still not going to be freaked out by the convenience of that call? Like, you have to think that he's watching you somehow. Got him a new wallet. But here's the thing. If something goes wrong tonight, is Nadim going to think you didn't have him, or is his body going to be found there? Leaving him alone in the room. What's wrong? Unfortunately, it is. If it was a power outage, your computers would be off. Yeah, that's not Bulls. That's not Daredevil. Daredevil, the only person to ever make Bullseye miss. He's using someone's beanie. Just realized that. Garrett, why did you not shoot as soon as that door was open? Do you think that's the exact Daredevil suit, or did he get potted to make a new one, or is that just a replica? Oh, it's a real issue when you're going up against someone who will hit you with anything they throw. And they can throw anything with enough force for it to impale. And that they can rebound bullshit like that. Why would you kick him away from you? Ow! Oh, not Allison. Wasn't it Karen and Dex? Hey Matt, maybe stay there. He didn't kill Matt for some reason. He didn't kill Foggy for some reason. He's got some relationship with Karen. And he hesitated with Ray. But he also didn't kill any of the FBI because... He's still got a pencil in him as well? I didn't even know that. Unfortunately, that was not the best you could see. It was a phantom struggle because the thing was already out while he was struggling with it. Normally, this show is much better on that, so I figured I should put it out. Well, at least some of the story was true. Unfortunately, it looks like Daredevil did it. Now you've got them looking for Matt, and you've got them looking for Daredevil. So, I wonder. I guess that would be why Matt shows up to meet with Nadeem in the black mask instead of his Daredevil outfit, because, well, if he showed up in the Daredevil outfit, he wouldn't be trusted. And if he shows up in his old outfit, he could say, hey, someone's got my newer one. It wasn't me that night. Huh. Why does Dex know Karen? I don't remember them having met in any of the earlier episodes. Like, he's only been on Fisk detail. He wasn't there at Matt's apartment, which was Karen's only interaction with the FBI. It's possible they interacted out the front of the President Hotel, like when he was showing up for his shift that day. Don't know. The question is, would she be able to identify his voice? Or is it the fact that Fisk knows Karen knows Daredevil, so he's saying, hey, mess with her by, while you're in the Daredevil suit, say hi to Karen as though you are Daredevil having gone bad. But also, he knew about the meeting, so he knew that Matt would be there, so he would know that they know that isn't the real Matt. So, very interested. The descent from absolutely hating Fisk's guts to willingly working with him seems to be quick for Dex, but also with what just happened with the only person he thought of as close to him completely running away from him, and then being like what's the word? Unconditionally accepted by Fisk. I can also see that. They're also sort of setting up a parallel between Matt and Dex in this episode, because there were multiple times where it's like everyone's left Dex and all, like, everyone in his life has left him. Then you have Foggy and Sister Maggie saying, hey, everyone in Matt's life, they left him. And so you sort of see parallels between Matt and Dex. It's just they're going down two completely different paths. Matt had the aspect of faith in his corner because, well, one, he had battling Jack as a dad, and we know Dex had poor parents, like poor as in bad parents, not necessarily they were poor financially. Matt had Jack in his corner, and despite how he wasn't the best off in terms of money or intelligence, he supported his son no matter what he wanted to do, helped him any way he could, and even refused to let his son down, costing him his life, so that his son would be supported, because he bet on himself winning in that match and resulted in his death. So you've got a good parent, you've got a bad parent. You've got someone who grew up in faith, someone who seemingly, well, he had the therapist that he grew up with, but that isn't quite the same as having the support structure that the church is. Growing up with other orphans, growing up with the priests and the nuns and all that. Then you've got everyone in his adult life leaving him because of like life situations. We don't actually know why he left the hotline, why he distanced himself from Julie and that, whether she left first and then he's like, I've got nothing keeping me here, versus Matt and Foggy. From the moment they met each other, they were best friends and supported each other through their adult life. Like, you could see the parallel paths that Matt and Dex have been on in this episode. It's just Matt had all this going for him on top of it, whereas Dex has everything working against him. And then we see one goes against Fisk, one ends up working for Fisk. I don't know if the stories are so paralleled in the comics, because I don't know Dex's, Bullseye's backstory in the comics, but yeah, it's interesting that they've made them so similar yet so different as well, because Matt has a no killing rule, Dex has no problems killing. Dex is working with the FBI, Matt is being hunted by the FBI. That's an ironic twist on everything else. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens, because Nadeem and you'd assume Hatley would now be questioning, hey, what Foggy said, at least part of it was true. They did have Evans. He was there. He was there confessing, like they've got the start of the confession on camera, and then suddenly someone comes in and silences him. But there's also the question of, out of everyone in that building that he came across, there are only two people that he left alive. That being Karen and that being Foggy. Now, could that be because Fisk wants to tear them down completely before killing them? That could be. Like, was Dex specifically told, hey, keep these two people alive? There's also the fact that he didn't kill Matt when he was in the mask. So Fisk could have also been like, if a man comes to you in a dark mask covering half his face, leave him alive, but do as much damage as you can. I don't quite have the cadence of Vincent D'Onofrio, but same vibes. Also, it seemed like he got Allison in a fatal spot, but he also seemed to be moving on the way down, so I don't know if he's dead. He might not have died instantly and then died later of his injuries, but yeah. I'm very interested to see where this is going, because we're halfway through the season and Fisk has won everything so far. So, but anyway, there's also the question of, once it's found out that Fisk has been playing the FBI this whole time, what's that going to do for Nadeem and Hatley and everyone else who pushed for them to be working with him? Like, it would put them into investigation. They would see Nadeem's financial troubles and everything, And even though we know that he's not working for Fisk, there would be the internal investigation. They'd unearth all this, and he'd likely go down for it. So there's a question of, would he be willing to do the right thing if it means implicating himself, like falsely implicating himself, and potentially putting his family in the court of public opinion's firing line? Or will he keep working with Fisk, at least until the FBI no longer has use for him and they can send him back to the hole? Because it seems like he is a genuinely good person. Like, he genuinely cares about the truth, as Foggy said. But when it comes to him personally being put on the line, that's when true character is tested. So, yeah. I'm just very interested to see where this is going. Anyway, I actually have to stop this one because it's getting too close to... I've got to get this uploaded, and I don't know if it'll finish in time. So, with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.